It's here. This is the first look. We don't even have a name. We do not have a name for this baby.
I was trying to think of a name this morning. What about Chomps?
Chomps.
Chomps.
We're gonna
talk?
We're gonna talk. Hey, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are
two crazy campers. And after losing a combined weight of more than 200 pounds,
we realized we had so much more energy for activities.
Come along with us as we explore the great outdoors.
And join us on a wind-blown adventure.
It's here.
It is here. It is the day that we are picking up our brand new RV.
So we're super excited. We're getting a new RV. A year ago tomorrow, we were up here picking up Allie, our 294 RK from Alliance, and today we are up here to pick up our brand new RV. So why don't you come with us and find out what we got?
It's here. This is the first look. We don't even have a name. We do not have a name for this baby.
I was trying to think of a name this morning. What about Chomps?
Chomps.
Chomps.
We're gonna
talk?
We're gonna talk.
This
look how beautiful
is our new RV, which we have not seen. We don't know what the inside looks like.
You better get off the grass because you're not bringing that dirt in my trailer.
We're going right in the trailer.
Look at that. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. I tried to look at the kitchen first, but I couldn't help but wonder, what did that second, a little bonus room look like? We wanted them to put in like a desk so that we could use this for live streaming. And I got to tell you, they did an outstanding job. And look how much room we have, Joe. This is crazy, crazy. Wow. But we wanted to still be able to have a bed. This will be a perfect place for our grandbaby to be able to stay with us, or any guest that would be staying with us. I love the fact that we still have this bed, but we have not lost any room.
Before we even get into any further in this video, there's something very important we need to do. Get rid of this mattress. Just put this up in here for now. And we're going to put in our brand new mattress, which is why today's video is sponsored by RV Mattress from Brooklyn Bedding. So whenever we get a new RV, the very first thing we do is change out our mattress. And we decided to go with the Sedona Elite from Brooklyn Bedding.
It really is the mattress and the good night's sleep that makes our RV feel like we are at home.
So we've purchased several mattresses from RV Mattress and from Brooklyn Bedding. This is actually going to be our fourth one. In the past, we've had the Aurora Luxe. We have one in our house. We had them in our previous two RVs. We decided to try something a little different. So this is the Sedona Elite. Now, I do want to be clear. The Sedona Elite is actually on the Brooklyn Bedding website. It is not on the RV Mattress website, but you can still get it. So RV Mattress is actually owned by Brooklyn Bedding. So most of the mattresses that you can get on RV Mattress are also available on Brooklyn Bedding's website and vice versa. So why do we go with RV Mattress and Brooklyn Bedding? Well, first of all, free shipping here in the contiguous United States. It will show up right at your door. It shows up in a box. All you need to do is get rid of your old mattress like we already did. Then what you're going to do is just carry that box inside, get it out of the box, bring it up into your bedroom or wherever you're going to be putting it, unroll it, and then from there, just slit up on the side and watch the magic happen.
Yes, when you get this mattress, you're like, is this going to be as cozy and as thick as Rachel and Joe claim it's going to be? Absolutely. You just need to wait until it poofs up.
Now, this mattress is a little bit thicker than our previous mattress, and it has different coils in it. So we're super excited to try this out. But here's the cool thing. RV Mattress and Brooklyn Bedding offer you a 120 sleep night guarantee. So for the next 120 nights, we're going to sleep on this mattress. And if there's something that we don't like about it, whether it be too hard or too firm, or we just don't like it, they have a guarantee where they will help us fix it, whether it be sending us a topper or swapping out the mattress. And that's one of the reasons that we were willing to take a chance on a different style than we're used to.
Also, we love the fact that it is an American company.
So all of the mattresses from RV Mattress by Brooklyn Bedding are assembled right here in the United States in Arizona, and that makes it amazing. They also come with a 10-year warranty. This is a great company, and we are so excited to be working with them. We really appreciate RV Mattress by Brooklyn Bedding for sponsoring today's video. And if you use the link that is down below, we have it right here on the screen, you can get 30% off of your mattress today.
Wow.
And you do get that 120-night sleep night guarantee as well as the 10-year warranty. So if you're in the market for a brand new mattress, consider checking out RV Mattress and Brooklyn Bedding. And again, we want to say thank you very much to RV Mattress and Brooklyn Bedding for sponsoring today's video. And we want to thank you guys for supporting the sponsors who support Two Crazy Campers. So what did we buy? We bought the Alliance Avenue All Access 30BH with a couple of custom modifications.
So let's take a look at those modifications. The first one being right here behind us. So we are actually in the family room, living room space, and this was previously a dinette.
Yes.
And we actually enjoyed the dinette, but we wanted something a little bit more versatile for us.
Now it does come with 2 chairs, which we have in the back under one of the other modifications, and this desk actually can rotate. So it's basically the same desk that you would have in a Paradigm, and then you have a little bench over there. Now I want to be clear, these were custom modifications that Alliance did. We are brand ambassadors for them, and we asked them if we could make these modifications. However, we paid for them, but they are, at the time that we're recording the video, these are not like options that just anybody can order.
The television though is the same. The cabinets up here are the same. Something that we feel like Alliance does just so well is find every nook and cranny of space and make it available. We love the fact that this is just such an open area, and I think you could glean from our previous talking about this model that it was this second room that really sold this unit to us.
So back here, this is a bunk room. Standard, it comes with your 2 bunks over on this side, and then on the other side, you have the fold-down bunk with that little, like, I don't even know what they call it, like an ottoman futon sofa. And we don't have any children that we're traveling with. I mean, we have children, but they're over the age of 24 years old. So we really were looking at this room as more of an office space. We opted to keep 2 beds on this side because we have a grandbaby with another one on the way. And so we wanted to be able to have something for grandchildren. But what I was really looking for was an office. So we requested them to remove the bunks on this side and build us a desk. And so we have a desk on this side. It's a very simple thing, just a couple of kitchen cabinets with some drawers, and then just a tabletop. And then these chairs actually are from the dinette. And I'm super excited about that.
I am too. So we have a very unique situation. Not only do we need an office space, but we do a lot of live streaming in our RV. So this makes it possible for us to have like a roomy feel, have room for the cameras, and just be able to utilize this space and not have to keep our family area always kind of gummed up with camera stuff.
Now I will say, though this was something that was done specifically for us, and it is not currently an option that you can just purchase, that would be an easy modification if you bought the All Access 30BH, because it's simply a fold down, bed, and that little like thing on the floor that's not bolted down. So you could easily take that out. You could honestly even leave up the flip up bed, which I actually thought about doing, and then just putting a standard desk there, but still having a bed if you ever needed it. Now, while we're back here, this is an option that is available when you order it, and that is the third AC. So up here in the ceiling, we have a third AC back here, and this is a Furrion Chill Cube. The only difference between this and what you would get if you were to order it is, because we live in Florida and it gets really hot, instead of the 8K unit that is back here, they gave us an 18K unit. So it's probably overkill. But we live in Florida, and Rachel gets hot.
I get hot.
I mean, she is hot, but she gets hot.
Well, thank you very much. So one thing that we really loved about this space, and this is exactly how it comes, is all of the storage cubbies behind the bed, and then having like this bed, not just one that utilizes the little ladder that's hid underneath here, but I liked this. I felt like if our mom came with us on a trip, she would feel more comfortable in this more stable bed that's on top of, like, you know, pull-out shelves.
Now, down below, there is more storage. And again, this is just all standard features, nothing modified here as well.
So something that is so pretty is this barn door. I really love how they are utilizing barn doors and a lot of the alliances. It's just such a nice residential cute feature. And then over here, we've got a sofa.
So we have our sofa over here with perfect viewing across from the TV. And, you know, we've already released a video doing a walkthrough of it, but there's some features in here that we didn't even know about. Like this pull-out drawer that you have to pull out by the handle, and it just kind of slides out. But right there, you have a little bit of extra storage there. And then I love this. So you can either have something with cup holders, you do have a little pop-up for an outlet as well as USBs, or you can fold it up and do some snuggling. So this is something that's really cool. And one of the things I love about Alliance is always about relentless improvement. When they find something that could be better, they will change it, and they will even change it mid-year, which I know can aggravate some people, but I like that. I like the fact that they're like, that doesn't work, so we're gonna change it now. We're not gonna wait for the next model year. For example, in our Delta, when we bought our Delta 294 Arcade, the shelves in the pantry were thin 1/4-inch wood. They found that they were sagging. So halfway through the model of the year, they switched out to 3/4-inch wood. You know, why sell the unit continually with a product where they're like, there could have been better things? So one of the things they did was, since we've seen this unit in January, is they changed the fridge. So they had a standard regular refrigerator before, and they upgraded us to this refrigerator, and this is any of the Avenue All Access BH 30 BHs. This is the fridge it's gonna come with. So now you have a pull-out drawer down here on the bottom, and then you have the two doors here that swing out like this. And what's really cool is you can open up one door or both doors. The reason that they did this is by having the refrigerator like this, because it's elevated it up, this refrigerator is now accessible in road mode.
And that's really important to us. We really wanted to be able to access our bedroom and our bathroom, with the kitchen space being kind of a luxury access when we were in road mode. So we're really glad that we get to the benefit of all three.
Now, if you don't know what road mode is, that's what our friend Josh the RV Nerd calls when you are traveling and your slides are in. So now, with the refrigerator like this, when your slide is in, which ends right here, you can actually get into your sink, you can open up your refrigerator, you can get to your stove, and you can get to your microwave. So if you put in a good inverter system like we're going to be doing, we'll be adding in a bunch of Big Beard batteries, you could literally get in here and cook with your slides closed. Now, while we're doing that, we do have a residential microwave.
So excited.
So super excited about having that residential microwave up there. The oven is just a little bit bigger.
And we have solid surface countertops. That is something I'm very much excited about.
Another thing they have now is all of the avenues are coming with Furrion chill cubes. What's really cool about that is the chill cubes are actually more energy efficient. So you're getting an 18K unit here, 8K in the bedroom, which is standard, and the back one is optional. But they're more efficient. They use less electricity. So if you're like us and you want to operate on solar, you'll be able to run it longer on your solar and battery system.
So take a look at these soft close hinges, lots of cabinetry over here, just tons of room. I mean, this is a very tiny space, and yet there is loads of cabinets for storing everything. And even though we still do have a little bit of an easy bake oven, it feels like it is bigger.
It is slightly bigger.
And it's just enough. And then I love having a nice big pot and pan drawer down here. We've got our smart wire system down here along with the plumbing, and then you've got some more reinforced drawers, and I love how they have room for the cutlery.
Okay, coming up here into the bedroom, we'll go right up in the bathroom area, and this bathroom is very similar to what we have in our 294. Enough for us, plenty of space. One of the biggest changes is in your cubby here, you have a little cabinet, and then we have our drawers down here, medicine cabinet over here, toilet, same type of door for our shower, and just a little shower head with a really big amount of headroom in the skylight up over us.
Oh, no, Joe. There is a major upgrade for us, and that is we have the sliding door to the bathroom. In our current unit, we have a door, like a swing out door for the bathroom. And just as I suspected it would, we have a little bit of traffic in the hallways. So I'm really glad that we're back to having a pocket door. There is a door on the bedroom. Let's check it out.
So there is a swinging door here on the bedroom. It does swing in, so it's out of the way, not going to interfere with the bathroom at all. And it does have a little magnetic latch down here on the bottom to hold it open. Now, the bedroom in here is very similar to what we have in our 294, okay, except for it is wider. So one of the things you'll notice, it has a queen size bed, but my side of the bed has more storage than Rachel's side of the bed because we are gone to a 101 wide body. So that allowed us to have a little bit more room on this side than that side, but it's still standard thing. Now, when you're seeing this video, we recorded this video, but we are going to be upgrading our mattress. And actually, you saw that at the very beginning when we talked about the fact that today's video is sponsored by Brooklyn Bedding. I just wanted to have this here. The first thing we're ever going to do when we buy a new RV, which hopefully this is the last one for a while, is upgrade the mattress to a Brooklyn Bedding mattress from RV Mattress. So super excited about that, but we do have storage underneath here. Lots of storage underneath Rachel's bag that we're hiding from you right now.
Already there.
Storage up over here. Storage here. And then more storage over on that side.
Yes.
And so you have storage up there for hanging. So you have your big wide drawers over here. And if you want to have a washer dryer, you would take those drawers out. Behind it is washer dryer, and the washer and dryer is vented for the outside.
So yes, I do get less room as far as like my nightstand capabilities on my side of the bed, but I am happy to trade space for the fact that the television is now up here and not on my side of the bed, because with the armed to the television on my side of the bed, sometimes I forget still, even though we're living in the RV, I will forget and bang my head on it. So I'm really glad that the television is there now.
So just to let you know, normally there is not a bracket there. We actually paid to have them hang the bracket so that I don't miss the TV backer. But there is a place to put a television there, but that is a Moride bracket that we just asked them to hang up for us. Also over here is the thermostat for your heat. Something I wanted to mention with the thermostat for the heat. So you have your furnace. One of our biggest complaints with our 294RK was you had the thermostat out in the main room, but the closest vent to the furnace was in the bedroom. So the bedroom would get ridiculously hot. So if you set it out there for say 73 degrees, by the time that thermostat registered at 73 degrees, it was 90 degrees in the bedroom. So what they've done in here is this furnace thermostat is actually measuring in here. So when you turn on this thermostat, it's going to turn off when this room gets to whatever temperature you're looking for, not the outside. And I'm really excited about that because that's going to make our bedroom not get as hot. And so, you know, doing that, having it that way is going to make it much more comfortable for when you're sleeping. Let's check out a couple of things we did on the outside. So out here, we have a couple of more upgrades that we requested. Again, we love Moride. We're actually brand ambassadors for Moride. And these are things that you can get directly from them. If you use our link down below, you can get 7% off. We made this modification on our Alliance Delta 294RK. I think it is amazing, and that is the safety rail. So by having this safety rail out here, it allows you to have something to hold on to all the way down. And then all you have to do is fold everything up like this. So this is a modification that you can make if you don't have it. But we did ask Alliance, can we just put it on directly so that I don't have to come out and start making those changes ourselves. The other modification that we asked them to make for us is the MORryde lift assist steps. We had this put onto our Alliance Delta. Rachel absolutely loved it. And that's because you can literally lift them up with one finger. Hey, Rachel, it's snowing. So you can lift it up with one finger, and we really, really like these. Also, we requested the 4-step version instead of the 3-step version. So again, this was something that is not standard, but we asked them if they could do this for us.
So as you can see, there is loads of pass-through space, plenty of room for Joe to fill this.
Up here in our front pass-through is where we'll put all our batteries. I brought one of my Big Beard batteries with me for now. I will just remove this vent since we don't need it, since we're using lithium. We will, like I said, be doing a very large system. We're probably going to go 24 volt with at least 2 24 volt batteries and 2 inverters. That will be in a future video. The biggest change that we made out here, and again, we paid for this, is our front hitch. So because of our truck and because I utilize my truck on a regular basis, I did not want to have to deal with a 5th wheel hitch in the bed of my truck and having to take it in and out. We paid for this Gen Y hitch. I will leave a link for you down below with them. But basically, we decided that we wanted to go with having a gooseneck style hitch. So we went with the one from Gen Y. I'm absolutely excited about this. The fact that we have this nice hitch here. We're able to go into our truck. We don't have to carry a 5th wheel hitch in the back of the truck. Just simply have a ball. And then when we are not towing, I can just remove that ball. So again, this is an upgrade that we made. If you're coming to the rally, I know a lot of times Gen Y is there. It is an option that you can always add on to. We paid for this. The only thing that was different is we asked Alliance if they can put it on here so that I don't have to buy a 5th wheel hitch to take it home to then switch everything out.
Hey, I am here with Ab Saleh from Alliance with really the Avenue line, right, is what you work primarily with. Tell us a little bit about what's your thought process when it comes to the Avenue line and also the difference between Avenue and the All Access.
Sure. Avenue for us is, well, I guess we'll start with Paradigm. That's kind of our full-blown luxury 5th wheel. That's the big brother here at Alliance RV. That was the first brand we introduced. And Avenue's kind of the little brother, right? Where we're focusing more on towability, length, and affordability. Yeah. So just a very popular segment in the 5th wheel industry. And then we get into Avenue and All Access. And the thinking there was, there's a lot of brands out there that will refer to our All Access as kind of a half-ton or just insinuate it's half-ton towable, or we really didn't want to do that. We wanted to focus on length because I think that's what it's about. I don't think it's necessarily about weight. Yeah. So All Access is about accessibility into national parks. Yes. State parks. Maybe it's a tight driveway. Maybe it's a storage unit that you want to get the unit in. So anything under 33, 34 feet is going to fall into that All Access category. And that was kind of the thought behind that.
Well, and it's a dream come true for us. We never thought
awesome.
We never thought it would be possible for us to have anything but a travel trailer tow behind because of just what you're saying. We would have to upgrade our vehicle, and we didn't want to do that. That's not like a cheap venture, right? You don't want to like a $50,000 unit but I need $100,000 more in my truck, right? Right. And we also wanted to not have no access to state parks and national parks. So we're really thankful that because you have made the Avenue, it is possible for us to get into a 5th wheel. Absolutely. And boy howdy, as soon as you do get into a 5th wheel, there's things I noticed right away. Difference. First of all, like headroom. Sure. For a 5th wheel. I thought it was just going to be, you'd have your bedroom over your, over your truck bed, but just the residential feel
I think
of a
there's
5th wheel.
So many advantages, especially in this particular category. A few things that we do different here in the Avenue All Access is starting with the slide height. So it's significantly taller than most that you'll see out there, but it gives you these big windows. It gives you a great panoramic view. We also went wide body in this category. I don't know of another brand that does that. So we're just adding more square footage without the length, which is obviously ideal. But when it pertains to towability, I think that's where you really win. I think consumers, especially if you're new to camping, it can be intimidating when you see these big fifth wheels.
Yes.
But I think the reality is you're pulling less, you're making sharper turns. I think you're going to enjoy that tow much more. So I would look into it a little bit more.
I would too, honestly. And everybody knows I'm like, my knees buckle very quickly. You know, I can be white knuckle passenger very easily. But when Joe just hooked it up together and was like, oh, that feels good. And you see the link start to shrink and you start to think, okay, well, this is going to be possible on the road. Don't let the fear of the height of a fifth wheel, you know, make you afraid to give it a try, because, you know, we always had to have a special hitch to make it feel like a fifth wheel, because, you know, but if you're in a fifth wheel, you've already got that feel.
Correct.
So what are some of the things that people are asking for when it comes to a fifth wheel?
Yeah, you know, we're seeing a lot more people are full timing in these fifth wheels. You know, so one thing we've done to ensure that that's capable is we warranty our product for full-time use, which I think is a big deal.
Yes.
So we're trying to incorporate a lot of those life size and residential features that are going to make it feel more like a home when you're living on this in the road. I mean, what a really cool thing to be able to do. So larger showers, again, more space, more air conditioning, just upgrading the HVAC and the exterior storage. But while doing all that, still really trying to make it nice and residential, just give you a great homey feel. So,
well, I mean, things like a solid surface countertop.
Correct.
I did not think that it would be that big of a deal, you know, and we're used to being, I mean, we're careful with it. You have to understand it's not an actual, like, you know, sticks and bricks home.
Right.
So we try to be ginger with it. But when I put down my coffee mug, even,
nice feeling.
it was just a nice feeling.
Yeah.
Everything feels very substantial in here. And so looking forward, what are some other things that you know, as a designer, that you're interested in bringing into the marketplace?
Yeah, you know, I think this is an exciting one. I'll tell you, we learn so much every day, and I got to thank you guys especially. I mean, I'm sure we'll go through some of this, but there's some really creative ideas in this coach. So just enhancing that camping experience, whether this is going to be, you know, something you're using as an office, or, you know, if you're going to be a family, or just a couple that's a weekend warrior. Just trying to make camping easy is really important too. I think sometimes we think we're just gonna, again, if you're new, you're gonna hook up to a fifth wheel, you're gonna go out there and you're just gonna pull the slides out and it's go time. There's a little bit of work involved.
Sure.
So trying to simplify that process, make that camping a little more enjoyable for you and easier would be my goal as we move forward.
Now, something, if we can walk over, Joe, to even just like the control panel over here. We hear feedback a lot that, man, I want everything digital and I want everything Wi-Fi. And I gotta tell you, when we saw this, Joe was like, whew, thank God. It is like simple. Can you explain why this may be what you're looking for? Maybe you don't want Alexa running all of this.
You know, when we first started Alliance RV, we really, to this day, we listen on a whole nother level. We don't have it all figured out, but, you know, as a community, listening to campers, incorporating those customer-driven features really help us improve. And we've heard so many times that just give us something a little more bulletproof, right? If it breaks, we can fix it.
Sure.
You push a button, slide goes in, slide goes out. Just simplify it. Let's not overthink this. Things do happen, to your point earlier, and we want to ensure that if they do, we can resolve it quickly. And I think that allows us to do that.
On the other side of AB is another feature that I am so freaking excited about. I can't even explain it. Things that are important to us. What can I access in, like, as Josh would say, road mode?
Correct.
Okay, so for us, when we began, we were able to access our bathroom, and boy howdy were we thankful for that, right? Because we didn't have to stop at gas station bathrooms. Then we get into our Delta, and now we got the bathroom and we got our bedroom, and if we can like snake through, we can kind of get into our kitchen for a little bit to grab a soda. Now we've got this refrigerator. Can you help us share why you guys did this? Because even when we saw it the first time, if you see our video where we go through this layout, different fridge.
You know, when you look through comments and you get all this feedback, one of the number one things you hear is travel mode, as Josh would say. Yeah. And it's important, right? Getting to the refrigerator, getting to the bedroom, getting to the bathroom, I think are the three critical places you want to make sure you can get to. We had a single swing 10 cube Furrion door prior that was great, but when we saw this model, we knew that this would help us overcome in a number of floor plans that issue we were facing with not being able to open that refrigerator when the slides are in. So this is a huge accomplishment. We're really excited about this product. We use Furrion throughout in our 30-inch over-the-range microwave, our 3-burner cooktop, and the 21-inch oven as well. So
yeah,
we were really pleased with it.
We were super tickled that we got what we used to call, we have an easy bake oven, and now this one is larger and actually more, you know, to receive for, we heat up a lot of meat. A lot of times when we go camping, we will make like a big giant brisket and then we will just heat up on the road because I don't want to spend a lot of time cooking. I want to spend a lot of time playing.
Yeah, that's it.
So in addition to having more than an easy bake oven, we now have, because we are in a fifth wheel, a residential microwave.
Right.
That is huge. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, we've been having like a dorm type of microwave, and boy, we've used it. But now we do cook a lot of bacon, and the fact that we have a larger vent hood really does help.
Yep. When you look at the All Access series, you're going to find that we're still using those large residential features that you'll find in Avenue. Right. A lot of guys will go to a smaller microwave or a smaller range to save weight and money. But again, weight's nothing that we're really focusing on here. It's length. So you're going to get these bigger life-size features that are going to make a big difference when you're camping.
Now, I think it's really important for people to study the layouts and try to figure out what is going to work best for you. Because I'm going to tell you, Ab, there is not one of your RVs that are not beautiful.
I appreciate that.
So I get into something, it's got a rear kitchen. I want a rear kitchen. All of a sudden I think I'm Martha Stewart and like everything is about that. You know, you get into something where, you know, it's more about the entertainment center. I think that, you know what? I think I'm just going to RV and it's going to be just Netflix and chill and nothing else. So I think you really have to find what is the right layout for you.
I agree. Floor plan first. I mean, it has to work. It has to flow. Once you find that, you can start working on the other things like eye appeal, budget, features. So you're spot on.
Yeah, because we say, you know, there's no such thing as priorities. You have a priority. What is the most important thing to you?
Well said.
And when we first started, it was a bathroom. I was so afraid that we'd have this little dinky bathroom. And so our first one, the main feature of our rig was a bathroom, a big bathroom. Now our needs have changed. And I think that happens with seasons of life, right? So maybe the kids need to have the most amount of space and you want a bunkhouse. For us, we decided we needed a bunkhouse because we needed more room than just a family room. And so can we take a look at our bunkhouse?
Sure. Because
it is freaking amazing.
Let's go. That's awesome.
Ignore the bed that is hitching a ride home with us. But we've changed out to a Brooklyn bedding mattress because we are needing good sleep years old.
I get it.
I mean, once you get into you know,
mattresses are tough. It's like the Three Little Bears. You know,
you're so right. I was buying one with my mom recently, and I was like, "Oh, this is going to be great for you." She laid down. And she's like, "What is wrong with you?" Totally opposite taste. Yep. But
over here.
So this is the best of both worlds for us. We do have a grandbaby, and we maybe have a guest that wants to travel with us. But what we really need was just a little bit more room for a desk.
Great idea.
So, and I'm seeing this in more, you know, rigs that people are wanting kind of a desk feature.
I agree. I mean, a lot of people are working from, you know, they're working on the road and or kids are being homeschooled, right? This is a great workstation. When you guys came to me with this idea, I thought it was phenomenal, and I was really happy with the way it turned out.
Oh, yeah.
Again, it's that feedback that I continuously talk about. You guys got the ideas, and we appreciate it, and that's why I'm so consumed with hearing them. But this works great for you guys, so we're happy to be able to do it for you, and I think it turned out really, really good.
Really, really good.
Yep.
You know, when you're talking about allowing your company to be driven by customer feedback, that takes a lot of, you got to check your pride.
It's not as easy as it sounds, right? Everybody makes it sound so easy, but it's the difference maker here at Alliance RV. It truly is. I mean, our consumers, our dealers, they're our eyes and ears, and I don't think we would be doing it right if we weren't listening to them.
Yeah.
So they're our biggest asset.
It was interesting. We were talking before we started taping, and you were just sharing, like, just, you know, in just meetings, company meetings, sitting around the table and stopping and just saying, like, hey, why am I asking you and you're asking me, and we work together, let's get out of here and go talk to the customer.
We all camp occasionally, but we're not avid campers. So, and when I say we, I think I mean the industry as a whole. So for us to consult amongst each other about what's best for the end consumer is, you know, it's mind-boggling to me. they're right there. Let's just ask them.
Wow. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Ab. We
Appreciate
love
it.
our rig.
Congratulations.
So we are getting ready to head back home to Florida, and we've spent the last couple days up here in Elkhart doing a shakedown trip. Whenever you buy a new RV, you don't want to take that RV on like a 2,000 mile trip without doing a local shakedown trip to make sure everything is working, there's no issues, because every RV is going to have little tiny issues. Sometimes it could be a big issue, but they're all going to have little issues. So we spent the last couple of days up here doing our shakedown trip so that we could then, if we found anything, bring it over to Alliance and have them repair them before we make the trip back home. And I have to say, you know, I would rate this 9.5 out of 10 in the final finish and the final result. Again, nothing is ever going to be perfect, but I wanted to show you some of the things that we found, because we want to be honest with you, concerns that we had when we bought the RV and things that we need to have them fixed. Unfortunately, I didn't film them beforehand, but I will point out to you the issues that we found and then how they resolved them. So we're going to start off right here in the dining area over here. I had found, like up here, there were a couple of little chips in the wood. So we brought it over to them and they fixed them. I will say this, 99% of this was fit and finish kind of stuff. It was little tiny things. For example, up here on the miter, there was a whole bunch of caulking just like kind of glumped up on here. So they cleaned all that off. Back here, it was little things like they didn't fill in the staple holes on the trim. So they fixed that. Down here, we noticed on the desk, this panel on the side of the cabinet hadn't been stapled in, so it was bowed out. And so they fixed that for us. Out here, it was little things like that. One other thing that we had out here was this flap down here on the slide was kind of like bowing up like this. And what that actually comes out to be, and this is an easy fix if you're having this at home, is this trim piece was pushing down on it, causing it to bow up. And so the solution is to take like a little multi-tool and just take like 1/8 of an inch off the back so that you have a gap down here, not even the width of a credit card, but because that's not pushing down, this isn't bowed up yet. So that is something that if you have that at home, he told me that is the fix. It's just that the trim piece on the slide is pushing down on it. So if you just, again, like less than a credit card's width off of the bottom, that will solve that problem. Another issue that we found was up here in the bathroom, and I've heard this a lot. We are getting packed up, so again, ignore our kind of road mode stuff.
Hi, Purple Towel.
But what we noticed was when you ran the shower, right down here in the corners, there was water coming out, and it was just a matter of the silicone. It didn't do the very, very corner. Everything else was done well, but there was no silicone on the inside corner. So if the water would hit it just right, then what would happen is it would come out. They went ahead and repaired that. In the bedroom is where we had really the biggest two issues. One of which was fit and finish, and the other one was somebody wasn't thinking ahead. So we had up here, this piece of trim was way bowed out. So it came down. If I have a picture, I'll stick it in here. And what it was the piece of trim was too long. And so when they put it in, rather than trimming it, they actually just kind of pushed it up and it caused a bow. So what they had to do was just take it down, trim it, put it back up, and now it's perfect. The biggest issue we had, which again was just somebody not thinking ahead, was our television. So this unit doesn't come with a TV in the bedroom. So we hung our TV up. You saw earlier that we had them mount the MORIDE bracket for us. And when we put our television up, the TV was in front of the thermostat. It was basically, now you could no longer access the thermostat. So what they did is they reinforced the wall. They shifted the television over a little bit. And then I've talked to them about what I would do is move this. But that was really the biggest issue. Overall, though, I'm super impressed with how everything came out.
Well, and I knew, because we have had an Alliance RV, I knew that whatever we found, it would get repaired because I trust the company.
Yeah, they really did a good job with this unit. We really appreciate them to make the small modifications. And, you know, we'll see what happens with that. Again, like Ab said, everything is about customer-driven features. I am going to also just mention something. I don't want this video to be too long, but one thing that we've noticed right away, as we mentioned already, the furnace is controlled from the bedroom thermostat instead of out here, which was a huge problem in our 294. With it being out here, the bedroom would get really hot. But what we found in the 294 was you could never get like this outer room really warm when you would run that furnace because it had a long run. And I guess they've upgraded the furnace, and we have found that even though the thermostat is up in the bedroom, which means as soon as that gets to the temperature of like 70 degrees, 72 degrees, it's going to turn off. It was getting a lot of hot air blowing back here, and we never felt, even though it was in the 20s a couple of the nights, that it was too cold back here. It was definitely a little bit warmer in the bedroom. That would be obvious. But it wasn't like where it was 100 degrees up there and 20 degrees back there. It was more of like it was 70 degrees up there and 65 degrees down here.
So if you had to go to the restroom, it was okay to leave the bedroom. That was very helpful.
Well, that is going to be the end of this video. We're going to have a lot more videos coming on our brand new Alliance Avenue 30BH. We've already got some upgrades planned. The big one is obviously going to be getting a solar and battery installation. We're going to be heading out to Texas, where I'm going to do the install myself along with Todd over there at Big Beer Battery. So super excited about that. Make sure you are hitting that bell button so that you're notified when that comes out. We also may be looking at doing the IS from Morai, the independent suspension, as well as a few upgrades. So if you're getting any kind of good value out of these videos, we really would appreciate it if you would hit that like button down below. That's going to do two things. Number one, it does help build our channel, but more importantly, it is going to let us know what kind of videos you guys are looking to see.
Also, don't forget to hit the little bell button, and that way every single time we upload a new video, you'll be alerted to it.
Until next time,
Happy camping.